escort you to the ball. I've wanted to dance with you since we arrived." He gently laced his arm through hers and turned her in the direction he'd approached from. Her heart sank as she realised there was no way to get out of it. Breaking into the Covenanter leader's room would have to wait for now, but she couldn't delay long as more guests would be arriving soon. She would have to try again before the castle became crowded and the chance of discovery was too great. "What brings you to this part of the castle?" Her steps faltered, but she recovered quickly. "I was told that Malcolm arrived earlier. I can't wait another minute to see him." The lie slid easily from her lips because it was also the truth. Too much time had passed, almost a year, since she'd seen her younger brother. The urge to wrap her arms around him and know he was safe clawed at her. The threat against her older brother, the Cameron laird, was the only reason she was here spying in this overcrowded, suffocating castle, and despite her desire to be back on McNab land and tending to the horses in the stables, she was thankful Lachlan had not come to Edinburgh. If someone was after Lachlan, would they use Malcolm to get to him? "It is not proper for a lady to be seen in the man's quarters." A chuckle escaped her lips, and he turned a disapproving gaze on her. She was reminded again of how different they were. His family had ties to the English aristocracy, so as a youth he'd gone to live with relatives in England and attend school there. She'd spent her whole life in the Highlands and couldn't imagine calling any other place home. He was but a year older, and she'd met him back in the fall. It was late June now, and in those few short months she'd come to the conclusion that the only thing they had in common was an uncanny ability to turn any conversation into a flirtatious combat. This was the first time she'd seen disapproval in his eyes, however. They were dark and held a hint of something dangerous beneath the surface. A chill prickled at the back of her neck, and she shuddered. She wasn't going to let a man tell her what to do, but she thought it best to pacify him, if for no other reason than to reinforce her half-truth. "I was just hoping to see him before he was swept up by all the lasses who will be clamouring to be at his side. Ye will have some competition now that he is here. Ye will have to pick a lass and pursue her before he sets his sights on her." "The only lady I wish to woo is you, but you are correct. Apparently I am already at war with him for your attentions." As they passed the sconce, she noticed the merriment had returned to his hazel eyes. Kirstie pulled her skirts high with her free hand as they rounded the corner and started down the stairs. Slowing her pace, she kept her gaze focused on each step before her foot touched it. Not much embarrassed her, but her awkwardness had caused many moments of humiliation. It was why she felt so at ease with her animals. They were graceful and lithe. Riding horses had been the perfect antidote to her inability to not walk a straight line without falling on her face. As they reached the bottom of the stairs, she dropped her skirts. A lively tune floated on the air, and as they stepped into the hall, she swallowed. The warmth of the crush of people wafted over her, along with the smells of overly perfumed ladies and sweat. Her mouth was suddenly dry. Just the thought of being next to the hordes of people she didn't know made her head spin. Where had they all come from? Most of them must be staying in the city because the castle still held many empty rooms, waiting on visiting lairds and their clansmen who were due to arrive in the coming days. She stopped at the edge of the floor as Hamish attempted to guide her out into the dancing crowd. "I must have something to drink first." "How silly of me. I will get you a refreshment and we can step out for some air. It is